Welcome back to Fire Emblem Thracia 776. Last time, we got Xavier, it's over finally! And now, the plot truly thickens. The Empire's Wrath. Already a day behind Dorius, Leif's forces were finally rested and ready. He was just about to march for Ulster, when a most unexpected message was delivered to him. It was this moment that marked Leif's beginning down a long road of hardship. And, already we're on the prep screen with no context for that ominous statement? Okay. And also, there are a couple of enemies who will be in this map that aren't actually spawned in yet, and I'll explain them because they're relevant to who you deploy. There are two squads here. One of them that is a bunch of Ulster troops, and the other that is a group of Phrygians that focuses more on magic. This squad is going to be led by Amalda, while this one will be led by Connemore. These two are recruitable, but Connemore is recruited by Miranda, a B-Root exclusive character, while Amalda is recruited by Sleuth, an A-Root exclusive character. Therefore, they are sort of Root exclusive characters. It is somewhat recommended if you have spare uses of Warp and Rescue that you recruit them as early as possible, because when you do recruit them, the rest of their squad become NPCs, and they can help distract the other squad. Now, we also have a couple of ballistas down here, iron ballistas specifically, and there's the boss here, Wolf. He has a Master Sword, Thoron, and Meteor. You can potentially silence him with a decently high magic mage if you want to take out his Meteor casting. He has Pavis and 4-star authority. It's really not that vital to actually fight him though, because this map's objective's very unique. I'll go into it in a moment. The real reason you want to fight him, though, is he's not a threat unless you head all the way down the bottom of the map, and you probably shouldn't, because there's a bunch of reinforcements here, including Great Knights with poleaxes, or halberds, I forget what they're called in this version, that can do massive damage to your cavalry, if not outright one-shot them. But the other reason you don't want to go here are these two bishops. They have the Wind Siege Tome, Blizzard. One thing you need to know about Blizzard in Thracia, for some reason it puts you to sleep. Because Karga's a sadist. Anybody who gets hit by Blizzard will be forced dismounted and have all their stats reduced to 0 and will be one-tap captured by enemies. Now, if you can get Blizzard for yourself, which basically requires a capture because, you know, you'd need, because thieves can't take 20 weight items, then that's pretty nice. I'd recommend silencing a bishop, then you'd be able to immediately capture them. The problem is, doing so is kind of hard without, like, a flyer who's gonna get killed by the ballistas, and, yeah, it might be difficult to pull that off. We also have 4 civilians here. Don't worry, it's nowhere near as bad as the Xavier chapter, but if all 4 of them reach your castle and escape, then you'll get a Master Seal. At this point, I don't really find much use for Master Seals, but they're nice to have. There are also a bunch of thieves in this map who'll go for these houses. Now, the real issue with this map is getting the houses. There are 9 of them. Now, not all of them have, like, particularly vital items, but some of them have some very strong things. For example, I believe this house has an ensorcel staff. And me being the 100% addict that I am going to be going for all of them. And that's really the reason I'll be spending a lot of time on this map, because I'll explain the real gimmick of it once we actually deploy. But suffice to say, you will be split into 2 squads for this. And just like the previous map, every even-numbered slot, so including Leif as the first odd-numbered slot, every even-numbered slot will start all the way in the middle of the map in the thick of the action, while your odd-numbered slots will be with Leif back at the castle. Now, for the even-numbered slots, I would highly recommend mounted units or flyers, because they need to run away as fast as possible, get to some houses if they can, and especially rescue the NPCs. Oh wow, Sarah's not fatigued yet? That's actually really cool. That saves on a, stamina drink use. Oh, and Safi's not fatigued either, okay. The cavalry who were deployed last map and got forced dismounted, they're gonna be in the home squad. Gotta remember to bring Miranda, Now, I'm putting Ossian in the advanced squad because I like to have him in the woods just tanking a lot of enemies and killing them off with 1 to 2 ranged weapons. And now we find out what the title really means. That's been a while since we heard this song. I've always liked this one. Using this portrait again, I see. Guess this kind of hair color is pretty standard in Leonster, given Callion also has it. So, Dorius is dead, and if you look back at the dialogue at the end of the last chapter, he knew that was coming. That discussion between him and August back then, when August said, so this is how you intend to... They knew that somebody was going to pay the cost for Leif's decision to help the rebellion in Ulster. They were both debating which one of them was going to die. August was perfectly willing to take Dorius's place, but Dorius said, Leif needs you more than he needs me. And now, normally, like, for example, a certain chapter of Crimson Flower and Three Houses, I don't like off-screen deaths in Fire Emblem, but here I actually think an off-screen death really works. Like, Dorius is honestly one of my favorite, forced deaths in the whole series. Even though he was an NPC. And, well, we get a look at Bloom himself here. One of the rare looks at Bloom himself, because given that Bloom isn't fought and killed until Genealogy, we actually don't face him here. It's kind of interesting how Frege is like the main antagonistic faction for the majority of Thracia, but it's because Bloom was in charge of Munster during Genealogy, so that's why. And yeah, I was very wrong earlier. These two will come back even if you capture them in their respective chapters. So as you can see here, Amalda is. Yeah, back. Not sure if I'll be able to spare her this time, but we'll find out. Yeah, would that she'd be able to hear his counsel. Unfortunately, he's not canon to this playthrough. So, this is an escape map. If you want, you can actually have your top crew escape right now and not have to play this chapter, at the cost of this entire section of characters being lost. So the actual goal is more to hold the line until everybody who is separated can get back to the castle, and until you can visit the villages. But it is very interesting, because you are essentially given the choice to just not play this map at all if you really want to. However, the game does force you to deploy at least 10 characters. There's no way you can cheese it by only deploying 2 people. I would also recommend intentionally getting somebody captured in this map if you want to visit Chapter 21X and you haven't had anybody get captured until this point. Because, yeah, now is really your last chance to do so. Oh, Safi ended up down... Okay, resetting here because I had to finagle the deployment slots just to get Safi up the top and to get Olwen into a better position down the bottom, because of a few reasons. But firstly, let's start by rescuing NPCs and making a run for it. I kind of need to clear them out of the way for something I'm going to be doing in a moment, but yeah, firstly, let's rescue them with people who have canter and get them as far away as I can. However, besides Karen, my flyer is going to be heading over this direction, and preferably out of range of ballistas. Let's see, you can mount up and rescue, you can mount up and take, and then, yeah, these two, Dean and Eda, will head over this way towards the... They probably need to go out of range of any of the enemies. Okay, that's a bit of a weird movement star proc, but I'll take it, because that means I get one of these 3 villages early. And yeah, Finn himself, he's gonna need to mount up to start intercepting some thieves. Speaking of intercepting, there'll be some bandits spawning from here eventually, but originally I brought Ossian to intercept them, but I actually think I might not even need that. In fact, maybe it's better if I actually put Ossian down here and have him attempt to intercept Amalda's squad, because they're going to be a threat to me later if I don't. Maybe he can sit in this forest with the Vouge. We'll see. And now, Olwen has to be unencumbered by an NPC because she needs her full magic stat to be able to bolting this thief and one-shot it. So, before I show that, I want to show this. So, these thieves. This thief and this thief are going to be in range of these houses on the first turn if you don't kill them off. So, I want to kill off one of them now and one of them next turn, both with bolting. Now, sometimes they can randomly roll a point of movement. If either of the front 2 thieves, these 2, get move, it's generally really bad for you, but if the back 2 thieves gain move, it's not too terrible. But yeah, I need to kill off these thieves. Was that a crit? No, it wasn't, but it was enough anyway. Don't know why enemy thieves have blue hair. Okay, Olwen levels up. Sadly, Olwen, I had this really good run of the chapter before, and Olwen actually cost me that run. I was almost out, and she just ended up in range of just a couple of enemies, and she then missed 2 Dire Thunders with Vantage and got doubles. But, okay, first things first, so Miranda. I will be getting a lot more Warp Staves in Chapter 21X, so I'm okay with breaking my Warp Staff here. I need to convert Conomor's squad into NPCs, because that will take some enemies off the board and also distract Amalda's squad at the same time. Okay, Sappy's stats are actually going pretty well. In fact, I probably should use a Master Seal on her, given I don't really plan on promoting anybody else, and I have a bunch of leftover Master Seals lying around. But now, this conversation. So, this is kind of my punishment for going the B route. Conomor's not terrible, I'd just rather have Amalda. But at the very least, I do like the fact that Miranda's a way more plot-relevant character than Sleuth and Amalda are. She gives you a much more personal connection to the whole Ulster massacre that just occurred, and the death of Dorius. But she's still being a harsh tsundere as usual. But at least her tsundere-ness is browbeating Conomor into helping us, so I approve of it now. It's pretty cool how this chapter is described as a retreat. It's a very unique concept for a map. Actual Lizard spent a lot of his video on Thracia discussing how excellent the gameplay story integration is in this map. And I like how Conomor says this to kind of, you know, give some justification why all of them turn into NPCs. Plot the recapture of Motherland. Well, unfortunately for you, that happens in Fire Emblem 4, so it will not be depicted on screen here. And also by royal decree of Princess Miranda, you will all instantly dye your hair red! Yeah, the princess's orders are respected like that. But not only are these guys NPCs now, we have Conomor. Conomor is the B-Route exclusive recruitment of Chapter 19, though it's important to note that both him and his counterpart have an Authority Star, a 2x follow-up critical modifier, and a Vigor Star. So regardless of which you get, you won't lose out in any of those departments. Of the two, Conomor serves a more offensive role, having A ranks in lances and swords, able to use both while mounted as a paladin, and having some pretty solid stats including a very high skill base, and good growths in strength and speed. What is it with all the pre-promote paladins having good strength growths? He has the Accost skill, and he'll be triggering this often due to his high HP and decent speed and con. But say it with me, Accost can be a double-edged sword sometimes. He also gets one of the rare 20% supports in the game, from Miranda. Well, I guess if you're using her, that's something. And his authority is Leaf's army, so it means oh, these guys are Leaf's army, they get our authority stars. That's kind of cool, actually. Well, I mean, he did say that in the cutscene, but still. Anyway, time for the alternate universe where we recruited a Mulder instead. Amalda is the A-Root exclusive character from Chapter 19, and she's usually preferred for the simple fact that she's a staffer. C-staffs might not be as high as somebody like Sleuth, but that does let her use the Sleep Staff at base, along with some other useful utilities. And her A-rank in swords lets her use the Flame Sword's +5 magic to aid her staffing. That plus in Sorcerer or Pure Water, and she can put in a lot of work. Also helps that Nana isn't likely to hit C-staffs for a while, even if you're using her. Though Amalda's strength might seem low, that A in swords lets her put in more work offensively than you might think, combined with her 2x follow-up critical modifier. One of her only drawbacks is lacking any supports whatsoever. Oh, and one more thing to note, and this also applies to Connemore. The pair of them have one more point of move than the average promoted mounted units. And I was originally planning on using a rescue staff, then hammerning it to get Miranda out, but you know what? Connemore can just rescue her and run. None of the enemies are going to be in range of him this turn, so it's fine. And so now, yeah, apart from this squad that's up here, which actually, hang on, Firstly, we're going to be mounting up some of our cavalry here, and then, yeah, this is probably my most efficient route, and then sending them after the top villages. Because, yeah, the villages are really the main thing of this map. Once you have the villages and the NPCs out, you basically have no reason to stay here. And there will be reinforcements to pressure you to leave, but okay. Let's start on... I suppose we can start on... Actually, no, Dean will be able to get that one and then canter out of enemy range anyway, so let's start in the lowest house down. Now, not all the items of these villages are that great, as I said. Also, it's the bandit reinforcements that are going to be bringing the hammers, but I appreciate the sentiment anyway. But yeah, just a basic old heal staff from this one. There's a better staff in one of the others. Okay, and now it's time for the War of the NPCs. Also, yeah, these bandits will go for the villagers. And once all the villagers are... They will even ignore attacking you to go for the villagers. But once all the villagers have been visited, they'll just move to escape the map. They actually do have the steal skill, like the bandits in chapter 12. So they are worth a good amount of experience if you want to train people against them. But yeah, now the Ulster squad realizes the hard way why moving second is a bad thing sometimes. Especially when the enemy is so close to you. Like, I mean, in chess, there are advantages to moving second because you don't start in engagement range of the enemy army, but here there's kind of problems. Even when Amalda's squad is going second, I do think they tend to overpower Connemore's squad more often than not. Although, yeah, there's Tornado's map animation. Because Amalda has a bunch of very fast troubadours with killing edges, as well as 3 Thoron Mage Knights, whereas Connemore has a couple of Bow Knights, and a promoted form. It's funny, they actually reversed the promoted and unpromoted names of the Bow Knight classes in the patch. I guess because, Well, in this attempt, Amalda's squad's getting really unlucky. Maybe Conamore's squad is going to put in work here. Okay, well, there we go. I spoke too soon. But yeah, here the unpromoted form is called Bow Knight, and the promoted form is called Arch Knight. And that's probably to keep consistency with Radiant Dawn. Yeah, Conamore's troops have more power, but Amal's the faster, and in Fire Emblem, that's generally all that matters. For example, this guy is probably going to die. No, actually, he survived. Wow. And yes, some of those troubadours just go over here. Maybe they only have staves. I'll need to check their items and see why they're doing that. And yeah, now it's time for, well, after these thieves move, it will then be time for Amalda. I hope I'm in bolting range of that other thief. But yeah, these guys are now valid targets for the ballistas and the siege tomes, so, yeah. Oh no, don't kill the tornado guy. The tornado is gone. I was about to say just like in the Metal Virus arc of Sonic IDW, but actually that's the Cyclone, not the tornado. Oh hey, dodge Blizzard though, that's nice. And you did not, so you're going to be put in a deep sleep. I don't know if the sleep... Because, like, I don't understand why a Blizzard would lull someone to sleep. Also, Amalda gets her boss quote if she fights an NPC, which is pretty funny. You'd think that she'd go for a capture here, but by her health bar's color, I don't think she is. There are some bosses that do go for captures, and it's kind of cool when they do. And there's a meteor. So, okay, Conamore's squad still got pretty decimated, as is usual, but sometimes they end up doing that, and I don't actually like... That's weird. He went for a capture, huh? Well, that actually kind of sucks, because now he's gonna leave the map, and I can't, like, trade items with NPCs or anything. Them going for the ballista is actually kind of... Huh. I doubt they'll actually kill the ballista, but if they do, that would be actually good for me. Oh, that Mage Knight got doubled that time. Must have rolled low on speed. Normally, Conamore's people don't double. Oh, we could have a dead ballista on our hands. Now, that's the thing about green units. You can't really predict what they're going to do and how often they'll survive. Oh, right. I was like, okay, now I can get Dean in and silence that bishop and capture him, but nope, they killed the other one. Also, yeah, I'm so glad Amalda dodged there. Her getting killed by a random green unit is just the most embarrassing feeling of all time. Although, the odds of that happening to her look like they're going to be pretty high. Oh, these two do only have heal staves. Yeah, that makes sense. Now... Here's the thing. This is just such a shame though, because there's a thing that I really wanted to do here, but like really logically speaking, Dean should just visit that and run, but I want to do the cool thing. I'm going to do the cool thing. So cool thing. I love playable rewarp so much. I'm so glad that Engage brought it back. Rewarp did appear in Radiant Dawn, but it was enemy only, but like, yeah, I mean, it's really silly and broken in a lot of ways, but playable Rewarp is just so fun, it should be in more games. Okay, good, she got luck and HP, the only two stats I care about her gaining right now, because luck means more miracles and HP means less fatigue. But yeah, so what I'm planning on doing here is she's going to visit this and hopefully tank and fight whatever comes her way, and then she'll Rewarp out of here. But now, you know, Edda's going to visit the upper house here. My combat guy should be visiting the lower house, and by combat guy I mean Dean. Also, hey, not all North Thracians are jerks or South Thracians. But the speed ring only works if you use it and consume the item. We shouldn't tell her that, though. It's probably some kind of placebo effect that's keeping her speed up. This reminds me of, obviously this is one of the villages we want to visit though, because, you know, stat boosters are always good, but this reminds me of that, thing from, Metal Gear Solid 3. I really need to play Metal Gear Solid 3 one day, where Snake eats glowing mushrooms and they recharge his batteries, and if you call the support team and ask about that, they're completely confused and wonder if it's some kind of placebo effect. Yeah, this is one of the benefits of magic working as both magic and resistance in this game. Pure water is useful for both offensive mages and people who want to take hits from magic. Maybe I should actually have Dean just hover around here just in case I need to rescue Sarah. Just in case. And now, yeah, again, these guys here all have the steal skill, so, like, killing them is worth a lot of experience. But speaking of killing things, this thief right here. Okay, good. He is in range of being bolted to death. And he will get one-shotted. Excellent. Goodbye, thief. There we go. A 1% miss there would have been disastrous. That would have actually been a run killer, but no, it was not a run killer, like Olwen was in my last run. And now, these remaining thieves, I can just finish them off with my short lance. Yeah, I know it's a short lance, but someone's like to call weapons silly names. Just like, the Grutlants. They're a lot more fun and engaged, though, just like rewarping. But, okay then, yeah. So, as long as you know how the deployment slots work and you put most of your cavalry in the lower group, this map is generally kind of fine, but yeah, here's the thing. I do need the Vouge just in case a ranged enemy... Can any ranged enemies attack him? No, one of them can. And his avoid is 83. I trust him, and he has a scroll. So yeah, we'll see what happens in that on that end, but let's go ahead and get visiting on these houses. Flying Forcetti. Well, I mean, given that he's a wind dragon, Forcetti was probably a wyvern, which is ironic because I love Forcetti and I hate wyverns, but only new mystery of the Emblem wyverns. Oh yeah, I gave Callian the Adept manual because I just want to give him a skill. Because him having no skills at all is just doesn't sit right with me. So, okay, you will go here. Yeah, I recently got reminded of the fact that road tiles in Genealogy actually increase your movement, which many people don't like because it just widens the gap between cavalry and non-cavalry, but that's a kind of a cool idea, almost like Advance Wars in a way. Like, I'd really love to have Xavier fight. Also, by the way, he has Selfina's Brave Bow. I'm so sorry, Selfina. But, yeah, we'll have plenty of time to fight with him next time. Okay, brave Ulster soldiers. Wow, this guy's got really good stats. It's really funny how enemies gain fatigue even though it does nothing. So, come on, Sarah, don't be dead, please. Oh, the other two spawn points are being blocked. Normally, Polak's Great Knight spawn from there. And that's actually really bad, because, again, you're encouraged to have cavalry in your lower squad, and the Polak's Great Knights will probably one-shot them. Oh, I guess the bishop's gonna be freed, but I think his items are still gone. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. But yeah, it does seem... I don't know if it's because they're easy to kill, but the enemies do kind of prioritize going for the NPCs over your units. And I will very much take the Mage Knights being distracted all the way down the bottom of the map. Farewell, Ulster soldier, you did your job. As a distraction. Oh, alright. I completely forgot there was an evil healing theme. That is so silly. I completely forgot that was a thing in this game. I think Genealogy also did that, I want to say. Yeah, I guess every other time I've seen an enemy use a staff, it was Physic, which only has map animations for enemies. I actually really want this Bow Knight to die, because otherwise Amalda might end up getting killed by him, and again, that would just be really sad. She deserves a better fate than being killed by an NPC. In fact, she's probably going to end up killing him herself. Oh, nobody even went for Sarah that turn. Again, the green units were just too tempting. These steel bandits can actually be good for training. Speaking of steel bandits, by the way. Oh yeah, these are hammers, you can tell by the map sprite. So, I was informed by, that's a Master Lance, isn't it? Wow, okay. In the comments section, I was informed that the Steel Bandits are very weird because there actually is an alternate version of the Brigand class in this game's code that is coded to have Steel as a class skill and use that different map sprite that has the axe on the opposite side. Except for some reason... Oh, okay, you're using a vulnerary. Is that other guy gonna kill Amalda? I'll finish my tangent after... Oh, no, you... Yeah, that guy's items are gone, though. For some reason, though, they never use this class. Instead, the Steel Bandits who appear are just the regular bandit class that just has the Steel skill given to them. That specific variant of the Brigand class with Steel gets unused. Speaking of unused, I feel like this is one of the unused villager portraits from the original Japanese version. Also, this village is a wind tome, and these are quite rare outside of that one shop that sells them, so I'd recommend getting this village at least. It's not a hard one to end up getting. There's no way that Nah, there's no way, barring Vigor Stars, that I get this turn. That house is kind of infamous, though. It's one of the more infamous, like, fan localization changes in this game. Oh. Well, I would much rather have the 99 miss on you than on the one that would attack the village that turn. You know what? Let's have Connemore attack. Just show off his sprite. He's a very grey paladin. Which fits. Although on that note, I guess I can talk about a certain thing about Connemore that I kind of need to say. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't like Connemore, and it's pretty justified. So... some people think it is vaguely implied that Connemore ends up marrying Miranda in the ending, even though he is, like, in his 40s to 50s and she's a teenager. Now, this is probably copium on my end, very extreme copium, but hear me out. Miranda's ending mentions her becoming a wife and mother, and mentions that she, quote-unquote, fell in love with a certain knight. Connemore's ending, though, and again, this might be copium, does not mention him getting married. So it's entirely possible that that the person who Miranda married was not him. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yes, let's go, Sarah. Take our energy, Sarah. And this staff, which you can use, but she's not really going to need it right now. And yeah, here's a reference to that other conversation, but this isn't the really infamous village embellishment in this chapter. I do want to use Sarah's luck ring, though, if I can. Alright, 3 of them can go for her. If she gets hit by all of them, that could actually be bad, and they have high hit rates thanks to those killing edges. And they're probably going to go for her because of her low defense, so... yeah. Actually... wait a minute. Yeah, there's really no use not... I mean, as fun as it would be to have Sarah fight enemies down here, let's not risk it. Might as well just do this. We have Amalda, though. She's not going to be on me for a while. You know what? I'm actually going to have Ossian start the retreat already. We have these houses now, and Edda can just head straight north, and she'll be able to get these houses. We have those 2. And... okay, then. And more of these guys. Okay, that time the Great Knight did spawn. I'd like to actually fight some of these Great Knights, because the enemy Great Knight sprite is actually really cool. It has, like, devil horns, almost. Wow, these guys are bulkier than I thought they'd be. However, yeah, this is going to be the last of them falling, probably. Still can't double, though. Thor must be pretty heavy. And there we go. That bishop's had a really rough day. At this point, he's probably just going to run off the map. Okay. Once more. Evil. Wow, she double cast. They really wanted to just show off that evil healing theme. I wish more Fire Emblems did that. It's just so silly. Wow, you guys really want it, like, you guys really want to go for Sarah, even though she's currently being carried on a wyvern right now. And yeah, they will avoid combat with you and prioritize the villagers instead. I don't know if there is like a limit to the number of enemies that can be on the map at one time, but I feel like these bandits do a very good job of reaching that limit. Oh yeah, they're still in NPC phase because we've got the green units that we're carrying. So yeah, let's just keep on going. We're getting close to being safe here. In fact, we have Lara. You know what though? I just want to get Miranda off this map as fast as possible. It was funny in the attempt at this I did where I rescued her, because I just immediately had her retreat after the rescue. Just like, get out, now! But yeah, I brought Nana down here for charm, but I don't think I actually need that. Well, I mean, you know, I haven't needed it yet. And I guess you can go ahead and use your, Adept Manual. I couldn't give it to Olwen because she has terrible attack speed, and I couldn't give it to, like, Sarah because she already has Adept. Okay, hang on. First things first. I can just barely visit this one. Well, there are, but we're kind of meant to be retreating right now. We're a little bit overwhelmed. Also, this village conversation is really weird. It's mighty easy to use, huh? What rank is that again? B. That is like almost the exact opposite of easy to use. Also, Ed is going to take that for no special reason. And yeah, Dean... Well, I suppose Dean flying over with Sarah is gonna mean that we will save on rewarp uses. Austin's got a little bit of a head start, but they'll catch up to him eventually. And... okay, she can't quite get in. I do kind of want Olwen to get out just because she cost me this chapter last time. But now... yeah, this conversation right here... I don't know if this was an embellishment by Project Exile, or if it's similar in Japanese, because, annoyingly, the one Japanese script that I have for this game is on, like, the original first fan translation is on Serene's Forest, and it doesn't have the village, scripts. But yeah, in this version, there's a full song here. It's not a bad poem, I feel. I think they had killer lancers, not riders' banes. Either way, the knights get massacred. And yes, both Quan and Ethlin die. Unless you do the glitch that makes them survive, in which case the game gets soft-locked because they capture the next castle before Sigurd can. And technically speaking, that's a good ending for Sigurd, because it means he misses the barbecue party, but still. Thracia took their rule for about a couple of months, because then the Empire invaded and kicked them out too. All that for another pure water. Thracia really likes giving you pure waters. Like, there's just a lot of villages that give you these. Okay, nobody else down here. Right, let's just see to it. So with that, I think we have every village done. Also, I think that bishop is going to be permanently plugging one of the reinforcement spots, except that it's... Oh, no, he's not, because he's going to run away. Ignore me. Kind of wish he could plug the Great Knight spawn spot, but still. So, yeah, Ossian's gonna have to pull off some pretty major heroics soon. There is a forest in his path, so he could hunker down there for the avoid. I said that weirdly, but I almost said huddle, and then I corrected it in my head to hunker, and then I said both of them at the same time. Yeah, that extra Brigand class that's in the game's code reminds me of the Corsair class from Fire Emblem the Blazing Blade, which is a variant of Pirate that is identical apart from its name, that only shows up in the Linus version of Four Fang Defense. And the only reason it exists is a bit of a joke, because the Pirate class in Japanese is called literally Sea Thief, and because you're not at sea, they call those ones Lake Thieves. Oh right, there is still one village I haven't visited. After I do this, though, the bandits are going to just start fleeing. Also, we have two Crusader-related euphemisms in this chapter. Well, technically a Knight of Thracia who's working for Leonsta, but yeah. I won't say no to another Silver Sword. I am running out of inventory space, but I can always use the inventory of characters I'm not using as a dumping ground for items. So, gotta be careful about Edda. Yeah, let's send her up there. I do like that we have this music again. It's been a while since we heard it. But, okay. We can get pretty close. I think I'll drop off the NPC now. Because remember, to get your reward, they actually have to enter Castle Leonsta. But I think you should be able to drop off another one there. That's 2 out of 4. And now Selfina. There's Finn. Oh, hey, Callian. You take that NPC and then run up here. Oh, yeah, we established that Olwen was gonna get out. Yes, it does, because next chapter is gonna be the real fight. Oh, yeah, we established Miranda's gonna get out, too. I'm not gonna have Conomore get out just yet, because I think that would get rid of his authority star. And speaking of authority stars... Leif has now permanently lost one due to the death of Dorius. So from now on, he only has one authority star, thanks to August. So yeah, losing Dorius actually did cost us in gameplay. Yeah, let's put you here with a Vouge, and hopefully Ossian is fine. I mean, I could put Sarah down as a distraction, but I don't really think I want to do that just yet. I mean, you know what, I'm just having Marie to get out. I probably shouldn't have deployed her here. I should have let her fatigue clear, but oh well. Using the full deployment slots does make it easier to keep track of who's going in the north and who's going in the south. And there's the full reinforcement squad of Axe Knights. And there is the other squad of reinforcements that start spawning later. So yeah, like, if you're down there trying to fight the boss and capture the Blizzard Bishops, you are in for a big rush of reinforcements. So I would recommend only doing that if you have rescue staves. Oh, that's cool. They have the kind of bluish-green hair of like Tailtube. And yeah, normally I shouldn't be using this, but it's the only 1-2 range weapon I've got, and hand axes suck in this game. Now, we should be seeing that Great Knight fight. I may have already pointed this out, but Great Knights don't actually count as armored in this game. That wasn't until Sacred Stones. Oh. Well, that's, annoying. Yeah, these troubadours are very, very fast. Maybe I should have put Pern down here so you could just steal their killing edges. Wow, Ossian, you are not doing well with that hit rate. I was kind of hoping to distract a few of those troubadours. Because we have 2 Mage Knights incoming. I probably can't afford to have you leave that forest until they're both dead. Yeah, now the bandits are just going to run off the map because there's no villages for them. You might want to track them down and kill a few of them for the steal experience. But I think I'm just going to let them go. Okay, 1 Axe Knight and 1 Grutnut. That hammer looks way too big for you to be carrying. Finally, he actually hit something. It only took him a 99 hit chance to do so, and should notice the other Axe Knight. Now the other Axe Knights. There are 3 Great Knights on the map already. Yeah, I probably do want to wait until Amalda's here. Yeah, see, I love that horned helmet look these guys have. But yeah, they're basically just a regular cavalry class in this game. In fact, it technically returned in Radiant Dawn. In Radiant Dawn, the promoted version of Axe Paladin is, well, literally Axe Paladin, the promoted form of Axe Knight, is called Great Knight in there. They were called Great Knight, was it Arrow Knight for Archer, I think, for the Bow Knight? They were called Great Knight, Blade Knight, Glory Knight, for Lance Paladin, for some reason. Because Lance General was called Glory Ducks in that game. Okay, so Amalda. She doesn't have a lot of hit on Ossian. And I do need to equip the Voosh just because I need to kill both of them. I think I'm going to actually have Ossian stay here and have him basically be a one-man army to take out those guys before they can chase the rest of us, because they can actually be a threat if they manage to catch some of your people before they get into the castle. Speaking of which, yeah, let's get the rest of us back in. And that's Fred. Yeah, Fred can get out. Sadly, you don't have a leadership star, so you do not get to stick around. I guess Karen can get out. She's done her job. It's just, I like how Karen's putting in work despite the fact that I'm not actively training her. Finn needs to stay because he does have an authority star. And Nana should probably stay just in case I need charm. But Fergus can just get out. See, at the very least, he was necessary for the villagers. Marita was pretty much not necessary to deploy at all. Okay, Ossian, don't fail me now. And these guys continue to spawn even though their villagers are all gone. They're like, where villagers go? You promise us, village. We no like you anymore, we leave. So yeah, it's the Mage Knights that I'm mostly afraid of here. Actually, if 2 of them hit him, I really shouldn't be thinking too soon, but I think if 2 of them hit him, he dies. And there are Mage Knight reinforcements incoming, so I should probably get a move on with Ossian, or I'll need to use a rescue staff on him. I did plan on him burning rescue anyway. Okay, none of them hit him at least. And here's where things become a problem, because I would really like to not break the Voosh, but I don't really need it for any of these remaining enemies, but I needed it for, this is a fairly bulky Ossian, though. I did need it for the, what are you guys doing? I am very confused. What are you trying to do? You're not gonna box him in, are you? That would be sad. Like, they seem afraid to attack him. He didn't just get enough defense to nullify their attacks, did he? I wonder if that's why. Because I wouldn't expect their strength stats to be very high. Yeah, look at this big conga line of bandits trying to run away. Well, you're attacking. And there we go, you are dead. Ossian now has a harem of troubadours surrounding him. And then, yeah, be thankful that, what was her name again? I've already forgotten. Tanya. Be thankful that she's not here, or she'd be getting really mad right now. Yeah, that is a lot of Great Knights, a lot of Mage Knights incoming. I think the reinforcements boards on that other side are actually a little bit random. I've seen not all three of them spawn sometimes, and that's the only reason I left Ossian. So here we go. I'm so sorry, Amalda. But capturing her just doesn't really give her much better of a fate. Wow, she's not worth much experience. I guess, like, female paladin's not worth a lot, because it kind of has, like, because I think it gets its class power is pretty low. And, okay, you're out. You're out, and there's one more who... Oh, no, you managed to get all the way out. Nice, that's all four of them. Did not pull a Chapter 12X this time. 16. Oh, yeah, he does have 16 from the Forest Defense. So, they couldn't hurt him. That's why they did that. That is actually fascinating. Huh. But yeah, here I don't need to use the Vouge. I can just go ahead and use the Iron Axe. Because I think the Troubadours will go for him now, because, like, they can do 1 damage. Oh, that's just Thunder. Oh, that's not... Yeah, I mean, it's still a little scary, but, it's better than Thoron. Or Tron, as the case may be. And yeah, I still need Lara just so that I can boost a couple of people over the finish line, but Selphina can get out. I guess Callian can get out? And I would have Xavier get out, but I can't because he has an Authority Star. So we're all going to get into position to leave. I would talk more about Dorius' death, but I feel like I've said enough, honestly. Like, it's very effective. I think it is actually one of the more underrated deaths in the Fire Emblem series. And yes, they are going for him. Little do they know that he has a scroll. Oh, wow. He actually can't one-shot them with that. Or, well, he might one-shot some of them, but depends on how high they roll for defense. Or he could not kill any of them, okay. And Ossian gets a totally pointless weapon rank because there's no A-rank axe in this game. I still don't get why that's the case, but yeah. It's kind of like how getting an S rank in light magic is pointless in Fire Emblem 7 because, that's worse than pointless because not only is there... Oh, no, wait, no, it's the other way around. Right, getting an S rank in staves is pointless because there's no S rank staff and it stops you getting an S rank in light tomes. Which you don't really need anyway in Fire Emblem 7, because Arthos is pretty much the only Ariel user you need, but still. It can be funny to have Sarah kill Nurgle with it. Yeah, wow, you guys are weirdly bulky. It would be really funny if... Actually, hang on. Oh, this is just the turn of Ossian critting and leaving things on 1 HP. But it was nice at least that he didn't, you know, fail to one-round that. But, like, it's still funny that, you know, the Great Knight dies, but the Troubadours don't. He is getting a lot of HP, though, which I'm not complaining about at all. On the subject of Ossian, though, did that break before or after he killed the Great Knight? Because it would have been really funny if he one-rounded something with a broken weapon, but could not one-round these guys. Oh, they have a lot of luck and miracle. Okay, Hammer will severely lower his speed, but at the same time, he's not taking much damage from these Troubadours anyway. I hate having to fly diagonally with these guys. It means they're not moving very vertically in the map. But at least I can have Lara dance for them. Should Edda move to intercept Ossian as he runs back? She probably should. Just gotta make sure she doesn't get attacked by a whole bunch of enemies. And I think that's my turn again. Seriously, more of them keep spawning. Yeah, like again, if you want the experience, you really should try and kill those. Well, that's 2 double casts from them. It's almost like these guys are playing the same kind of map we are. Just, they're all in a hurry to escape, and they just all want to leave. Okay, good. He just got into range so that she could just go here, and she's encumbered, of course she is. However, Dean can finally drop off Sarah. Okay, good. Nobody's in range of that. I guess I can go ahead and just do this and get Dean out, maybe. Okay, she's fatigued. I guess I don't really need a dancer for the next chapter. I mean, Sarah is probably super mega ultra fatigued right now. Oh, actually a little bit over. Oh, she needs to use the lock ring too. Blade will get up here and then... yeah, I think that's basically all I can do. Are they seriously still spawning? Once more, evil healing. Okay, while this long enemy phase is going on, I just remembered there was a topic that I said in a failed run that I haven't got a chance to say here, and that is that this moment with Leaf, he makes a big mistake in the story, and it costs him. It costs him the loss of one of his advisors. And this is one of the main reasons why Leaf is heavily praised as a lord, because the story is not afraid to let him quote-unquote F up, and have consequences for him screwing up. Here's the thing, though. Erica in Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones. She makes a pretty colossal F-up in the story, and is punished for it, and yet people think she's a badly written character because of it. Leaf does the same thing, and he's well written. I don't want to make accusations of the fact that there is a certain difference between Leaf and Erica in the gender department. That might be why people act like this. And yeah, the fact that Erica does make a pretty dumb move, maybe it reflects badly on her, like, as a female character, but I actually see both mistakes as being almost the same kind of thing. It is in character for Erica to want to trust and believe in Leon. He is her childhood friend. The Demon King is established as a master manipulator of emotions. It is all in character. Just like here, it's in character for Leaf to want to help out the people of Ulster. And being too naive to realize that it's going to get a lot of his troops killed. So it did always feel like a weird double standard to me, that, like, Leaf is considered to be one of the best written lords in the series, mostly because of this scene as well, which actually kind of bothers me, because, like, I think there's a lot more to Leaf than just this chapter. Like, I mean, this moment is good, don't get me wrong, and I think later games should have lords make mistakes and be punished for them. But I also feel like Leaf should be loved for reasons beyond this moment. But yeah, like, Leaf is considered well-written for this, and Erica does something similar, and she's considered badly written for it. That always bothered me. Okay, now, I'm not totally out of it yet. This could actually... There's still room for this to go very, very south. Because, yeah, they can actually get to me now. 5 attack... 20... for a moment I was thinking, oh, maybe I actually will get a chance to use Xavier here, but I don't want to blow this late. Yeah, it's safer if I use Ossian. And I'm pretty sure from here we can all get out next turn. So, no taking risks right at the end. I am not pulling that quote from that one Robin Hood game. You see, I'm nearly safe, but I thought I'd do something truly foolish and get myself killed instead. Like, I normally don't like those kinds of games, but I do admit that line that you get for talking to a guard during the final escape sequence in that Robin Hood game is pretty funny. I hope this goes to show, though, like, these reinforcements do close in on you very quickly, and it's either leave somebody behind to distract them, or, sadly, that Great Knight's not gonna die because, I'm gonna, end the map this turn, and have them captured, or just run everyone back, and, yeah, you're gonna get cornered by these guys eventually. It does make this chapter feel very tense. Okay, so everybody can get out, right? Pretty sure everyone can get out. So yeah, let's go ahead and get Edda out. Will you? Maybe. The next battle's not really a good place for flyers. 3 words. Ambush spawn ballistas. Yes, that's a real thing. I was wrong earlier when I said that was only a thing in Shadow Dragon. So yeah, you're out. Finn can get out. Yep. Nana can go. Xavier, you did your job well as moral support. Bit of a generic quote for somebody you go through hell to recruit. Sarah, you leave. Yep, ... As usual. Ossian, you did well delaying the enemy. Conomore, you were something. And now, you have nothing left to do but escape. We weren't forgetting anyone at all. Like, there's no way at all. Like, we all got out. It's fine, yeah. And even if we did leave anyone behind, it wasn't anyone important, just the person who came last in Choose Your Legends. Yeah, you know, no, it's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah, I may have done that on purpose just to make sure that I got Chapter 21X. This is the last escape map before Chapter 21, so if you want 21X and you don't have anyone captured yet, you need to leave somebody behind here. I was debating who to leave behind. I was thinking maybe Brighton again, just to, you know, make that a running gag. I was thinking maybe, you know, Xavier, because it would be kind of funny to do all that effort and just leave him behind. But no, I do want to actually use Xavier in the next chapter. There were a few people that I considered leaving behind, but ultimately, I kind of wanted somebody with an Authority Star, because that gives me a free Authority Star deployment in 21X. But a large rebellion is taking place in the east reaches of Izark. They seem to be putting up a good fight against the Empire by all accounts, because they're led by people who have ridiculous, stats because of eugenics. Yeah, if you've recruited Shanam, I believe this implies that, like, Leaf already knows that Shanam is not the prince. Because he clearly thinks that the actual Shannon is elsewhere. Lord Seliph of House Shalfi. The people of Izark and Granvale alike call him the Scion of Light. Yep, Leaf's cousin. And yeah, with this, the events of Genealogy of the Holy War have officially started. The timeline is caught up. Thracia is not a complete midquel. A lot of people like to say that it's set in between Gen 1 and Gen 2 of Genealogy, but actually, the final stretch of Thracia overlaps with the timeline of Genealogy. Well, you know, I wouldn't say Sigurd saw through the Emperor's schemes. He kind of only realized them when it was too late, and he was already burning to death. However, it's kind of nice to hear that Sigurd's become a folk hero for everyone, and that, you know, he's generally not remembered as the guy who blundered into causing all this mess. It's like, a lot of people don't like the story of Genealogy Gen 2. They think that it's kind of just too generic heroic fantasy after the political intrigue of Gen 1, but I always felt that was the point. Gen 1 is, like, just the tragic story of, like, a guy being outmaneuvered by politics he was never accustomed to. Whereas Gen 2 is meant to be the relief. you see the purely heroic story of his son rising up and fixing his dad's mistakes. It's cathartic. I always enjoyed it, but then again, I like more lighted-hearted stories. But, like, it's kind of like if, like, you know, you played Three Houses and then you play Engage right after. Maybe not quite that extreme, but it's a similar kind of feeling. Maybe more like playing Path of Radiance right after Three Houses. But yeah, maybe somebody behind the scenes who, August knows is trying to sculpt Seliph into a hero. Like, I suppose one thing that is also a bit of a criticism of Genealogy's story is that Lewin has such an active role in, like, directly telling Seliph what to do. But in a way, I feel like it does make sense because, like, Lewin, or rather Forseti, is really making sure that Seliph does not repeat his dad's mistakes, because they cannot afford that. The continent is like a billion ways of effed if that happens again. Anyway, sorry that I'm talking over the dialogue here. It is kind of sad that the one disabled guy is dead now, but, I still think Dorius is a good character. Okay, yeah, here we go. I was wondering for a second if we were going to get a cutscene because somebody got captured, but no, it's because of the, Master Seal, because we saved all of the NPCs. I'm actually not sure if the enemies try and capture or kill these guys, because, yeah, I have never actually seen any enemies get to them. I usually deploy my cavalry down in the south. And now that's over. I'll see you next time for Chapter 20, where we play Genealogy of the Holy War. Yeah, enemy Great Knights look pretty awesome. They have, like, horned helmets. Like, almost devil helmets. It's pretty cool. It's kind of a shame you don't really fight them that often. Oh, yes! Finally! I got a move level up that didn't come from a scroll! I was waiting for that. Like, I was just like, yeah, like, wait... One of the things about doing a Let's Play of Thracia is reacting to crazy move level ups, and finally... Olwen, you should hit the second one. This is why Vantage Olwen is not always the best idea, by the way. Because that happens sometimes. Are you... I was so close. I was so close, and of course, yeah, Olwen has problems with accuracy sometimes.